Hey, everyone interested in motion capture here? Because this is what we're going to be covering today. This is kind of a quick scene that I put together using motion capture, MVN Animate Pro. This is direct motion capture that one of our actors was using in uh, well, plugged into the MVN Link suit, and this is really amazing. I really love animation, motion capture. The stuff is really cool, and I love the integration and how beautiful you can make it all look with Unreal Engine. And so what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be kind of covering a lot of stuff here about how to plug this in using MVN Animate Pro. And then we're going to be using the network streamer streaming directly out to either a live performance or a canned one. In this particular case, we've saved this out and we've run the HD reprocess, and we're going to be putting that directly into a scene where we can have some live feedback. This particular scene here that I'm showing you is just something that I'm working on. So we're not going to be using this particular scene. I know it is very cool, but we're going to be just going straight back to the basics. I'm going to be using the basic mannequin skeleton just to get you the idea. We're going to keep it clean, we're going to keep it easy, and we're going to keep it straightforward. And we're not going to muck it up with a whole bunch of cool spaceship debris. Well, anyway, without any further ado, we're just going to get started here and let's get going. Prerequisites are that at least you have MVN Animate Pro, because MVN Animate Pro has the features that allow you to stream out. And then either you have the suit set up and hooked up and you have some live real-time stuff going on, or like me, you have a pre-saved MVN Animate file that you recorded at another date. Without any further ado, let's get started. Let's get into this, and this is going to be really fun. I hope you guys brought popcorn because it's going to be amazing. Just to get started, what I'm doing is I'm opening up a new Unreal Engine 4.26 project. Actually, I'm creating a new one. I'm just going to choose film, television, and live events because that's the most appropriate. We'll click next on that. I'm going to go with blank just because it's less crazy. We'll hit next on that one. Project settings, no starter content, and ray tracing disabled. That's totally fine for me because we don't need that fancy stuff right now. I'm going to name this MVN demo video, and I'll put that on the G drive. So we're going to create that project. That's going to launch up, and there are a few things that we're going to need to know and we need to make sure are happening before getting crazy. So let's just be a second here. It's a new project. It shouldn't take long, and my computer is fairly new ish. So what we're going to do, just to be completely simple and don't get too complex, is we are going to use the mannequin, just the base mannequin guy. So I'm going to go here, and there we go. So there are a couple ways that we can do this. We can import so we can import to game, and then we could throw in, I think on the desktop I have an SK mannequin. I do not. Let's take a look here. Yeah, I don't have one. Base, see it here. Let's just for testing here. We'll do base character. This is something that you're gonna need to know. If you are importing your own character, you're gonna go in here, the FBX import, and you're gonna make sure when you go in force front X-axis is checked. Otherwise, you're gonna cause some problems there. I'm gonna cancel this because I don't want to use him. I am actually going to be using the base mannequin character, and the best way for me to do it if I don't have it here is I'm just going to add import. I'm just going to add import into game. Actually, no, sorry. Add import, add feature component. I'm just going to go with a third person. That'll bring me my mannequin. And I don't need all this other stuff here. So, but I'm going to go with third person. Or sorry, I'm going to go to mannequin and then character, and this is the guy we're going to work with. Okay, so we're going to go into the mesh as well. First thing we're going to check though is we're going to go to edit, plugins. I'm going to type in Xsens. Just type it right, and then enabled is correct, and then restart now. So that's going to restart with our MVN Animate Pro Live Link plugin. So you are going to require MVN Animate Pro because MVN Animate Pro, one of the features is that it can stream out. And that is very important in this particular case if you want to have real-time results. Ultimately, you can export as FBX, but again, MVN Animate Pro, that is a pro feature to export FBX. So for this demonstration, it would be best, or it would be essential that you have MVN Animate Pro. So there we go. What I'll do is I'm just going to just import this guy. So we'll just play around here. We'll work. Everything is going to be worked on inside the mannequin character mesh folder here. So now that we have MVN Animate, or sorry, the Live Link plugin installed, we're going to create a couple things. First, I'm going to go into the skeleton, and then we're going to get ourselves a Tpose, because right now we're in the end pose, not something we want. So you want to click on the skeleton tree here. In this particular case, it makes it a little easier if you click character, bones, all hierarchy. Now you can see the structure of him. So what we're going to do here is just to get that Tpose going, I'm going to grab the upper arm R. We're going to rotate that 50 degrees. We're going to do the same thing with this one here, 50 degrees. And I'm going to go at this angle here, and I'm going to grab lower arm R, and I'm going to rotate that 20, and then lower arm L, another 20. What I found is really good is grabbing the clavicles and putting them another 10 degrees. And there you go, you got your Tpose. Looks a little wide, but it's actually not. Maybe we can get in there and play around with some other stuff, maybe lower arm, and then this one here. There you go. So now that we have this pose here, what we're going to do is we're going to create an asset. We're going to click on this button and create animation, and we're going to use the current pose for that. So there you go. And then we'll hit, actually we'll get some name in here. Naming convention is better. If we go here, this is the Tpose. This is going to make it a lot easier for us to search later. And then we hit OK. And there you go. Now, I haven't gone over a lot of the hand stuff, and so if you are using stuff like the Manus VR gloves for hand capture solution, we will cover that in another video. Look in the description of this video here to see where you can do that. We're going to dive a little bit deeper into lining those up as well, because you're going to have to straighten out the fingers and everything. And then there's going to be a second part to that. We're going to go into the remap, and we're going to go remap all of those things. But for this particular one here, we're not going to be diving too deep into the hands. We're going to stop at the actual hand that's held the carpus. So we'll get to that though. So I'll save that. Everything's good. We have a Tpose. Now the next thing we need to do is, like I was just talking about, we're going to need to right click and go to, we're going to have to create a remap. So right click on the skeleton, go to Xsens, and then create a remap asset. So this is going to be the one telling MVN which bones to line up with which bones on your character. So that's going to be in this area here. We're going to do remapping assets. First, I'm going to switch the Tpose animation and just type in Tpose because that's what we named it. Boom. There you go. Now, this can be a little bit repetitive and annoying, so you should only do it once, honestly, because once it's done once, it's okay. Now, if you see any issues with animation at some point, then double check this here. I will put a link in the description also to the knowledge base article here from Xsens that I'm using to reference these particular remapping assets, because these are specific to UE4, UE5, mix between there and the connection to MVN skeleton. So it's very, very handy to have. Anyway, so we're going to go here. Root is root. Pelvis is pelvis, as you'd expect. Spine 01 for that one. Spine 02 for L3. Skip at T12. Put T8 is going to be spine 03. Neck is going to be neck 01, which is down here. Now, it's not alphabetical and you can't type the first part and skip to it, which kind of makes it a little bit more tricky here. But you know what? It's a one-time thing. So right shoulder is going to be called clavicle R, as we saw before when we're moving it. And let's go look for clavicle R. And then we'll do upper leg, or upper arm is going to be upper arm, and then lower arm. So we're going to do upper arm R. Make sure you don't mix those two together. It'll look really weird. So we got upper arm R and lower arm R. There you go. And then right hand is going to be hand R. After a while, your eyes will go a little bit cross-eyed. There you go. Left shoulder, shift, that's going to be clavicle as well. So we just do clavicle L. I'm sure I saw it already. Clavicle L. All right, so we got clavicle L, we got upper arm L, and we're gonna have lower arm L, and the left hand is hand L. So there we go. Now that we're here, upper leg is going to be thigh, so thigh R. Thigh L, thigh R. And then we got lower leg is going to be calf R. Right foot is going to be ball R. No, foot R, sorry. Foot R, and then right toe is going to be ball R. There you go. And we'll do calf L. No, sorry. That's calf L. This is thigh L. And then left foot is foot L. Left toe is toe, or ball L. And then that's it. So skip the props, skip these are the hands, left carpus, stuff like that. Those are the fingers. So we'll save it there. We'll compile and we'll save that. Now again, the video that I'm going to do is linked in the description. That will be the one that'll kind of go over what all these things do. This is a lot of extra stuff if you're not using it, so I'm going to skip that for now. And then if you are using Manus or StretchSense gloves to plug in there, then we'll just go over that in the other video. So for now, good, done. All right, so in that particular case, we just need one more thing. I'm going to go here and I'm going to enable this plugin. So we're going to go to Window Live Link and we're going to add a source. I'm going to add source 9763, which is heads OK. It's going to come up, but nothing's going to come up. But the problem, well, the reason being is because we don't have Xsens hooked up here. So I'm going to open up Xsens MVN Animate Pro, and then I'm going to open up one of my pre-made animations. You can do this live as well if you deny start to motion capture with your suit setup. I am not wearing it right now, so that's not going to work. So I'm going to do kind of just go there. I'm going to hit R, which is key for under the playback. It's toggle repeat, and then I hit space. That way it's playing. We're going to need to stream this out. So you click on Options, Network Streamer. In here, we're going to hit Add, and that's going to create a stream to your host here, which is your local address. So you can type in your IP address, you can type in localhost, or you can just leave it the way it is, which is probably the best, 127.0.0.1. That will go to your computer. Now, port 9763 is the default. Just leave her at that. You probably noticed in Unreal Engine that's what it's set up to. Now, let's just say you want to get this here and you want to get another computer that is not this particular computer. So you're not running MVN Animate Pro on the same machine that you're running Unreal Engine on. Now, what you want to do is you want to type in the host IP address there. If you're using Windows, you can open up the command prompt here. That's just clicking on the start menu and typing CMD, like Charlie, Mary, David, and it's going to bring this up. You can type in ipconfig, and depending on how many of these local area connections you have, there should be this area here. IVP4 address is your IP address. So 192.168.1.69. If this was on another computer, I would type in 192.168.1.69 into this host area. Keep in mind you need to be on the same local network or using a VPN with the same IP address range. So not going to get into that stuff. Hopefully that's something you'll be able to understand or know already. Okay, so we're just doing it on the same computer, so we're going to leave it as is. Everything's good. And once you hit close, that is going to automatically save everything in the latest version of Animate Pro. So I'm going to move that out of the way. It is streaming. If I click on this guy, you're going to see, it's got to refresh. I'm going to erase it, and I'm going to add it here again. And it should come up with the character name here pretty quick. However, I did see something here that I'm not sure about. Number streamer. I'm going to uncheck that. There's like a pause thing. All right, so we'll give it a minute here. it should come up here pretty quick, but we're network streamer. We got stream one, UDP, blah blah blah. Everything's like good. Everything's good there. I'm just gonna give it a minute, just because it'll probably come up. So in the meantime, I'm gonna right click here and I'm gonna go to animation blueprint. We're gonna right click and create one of those. Do not click anything over here. We're gonna use the UE4 Mannequin skeleton here, and then we're gonna hit OK. And that's gonna create that. I'm gonna do MVN Mannequin. Just we need some sort of descriptive word on there. I'll throw that guy in there as well. Now you're gonna double click on this guy. Once that's open, we need to add a right click and hit type live link pose. That's gonna bring you in here. Plug that guy into there, and this is where we should see our stuff here. When this is selected, make sure to choose the UE4 Mannequin skeleton remap that we did before. If you don't, it is going to blow up and scare you. You might not be able to sleep at night. Okay, now we got all that. That should be good. Now I'm going to check on this thing here again. We should go to live. Oops, that was not the button I needed. Live link. Okay, MVN Live. We are not seeing anything, so there is a problem here. Let's take a look. Options, network streamer, stream one. UDP, blah, blah, blah. Stream rate max, send pause. Everything is good. We should be sending Calvin out the door. So if I go here, there you go. Just sometimes it takes a minute. I didn't do anything. Okay, so we got Calvin there. If Calvin's there, then Calvin should also be here. So there's Calvin. Compile and save. Now, this is what I was expecting. This is something they're going to notice. If you, like before when we said we were going to import that file, the other character, but we went with this guy instead. When I said, remember I told you guys to click on the little checkbox. It said force x-axis forward or whatever it was. That's because he's on the wrong axis. He's facing the wrong way. And the animation's correct, but the pose is incorrect. So easy way to fix that here. We're just going to go into the, is it the animation? So let's go into the skeleton here. And from there, I'm going to go to the animation. And we're just going to quickly go here and click root. And we're going to rotate him 90 degrees this way. And then hit key and apply. That should get him force facing x-axis. Okay. And then if I'm just going to go to, well, first of all, we can kind of go through here to the animation here, and we can preview that guy. And you're going to see a lot more natural looking walk. So that's good. Okay, so compile that. I'm just going to do the simulate. And then that way you can see everything. I can hit G to turn game mode on. But yeah, see, there you go. Now that's a pretty good one. You can play around. I mean, I did play around with some of the clavicle and the extra movements and stuff, and that seems to have worked very well for me as far as the animation. There's no clipping. Again, you're gonna have to take into consideration how much bigger or smaller your character is from your actor. So if your character is a lot more beefed out and muscular, then what you're going to want to do is do some sort of holdout or something. But that's stuff you're going to have to keep in mind during the performance. So at least now we're seeing that Calvin is doing his thing. I've got it on repeat, so he's just going to keep doing his thing. and we've got a working MVN Animate guy. So if you guys have any questions or anything like that, feel free to post comments, ask these questions. I'll be around and I'll answer. If not me, somebody from our team will. And hopefully that's helped you out. If you need hand animations as well, go right ahead and check out that link in the description, and we'll go over a little bit more for you, and I'll see you on that one. But either way, everyone have a great day, great weekend, great whatever else is coming to you, and we will catch you on the next video.